Today we have a reading for you about somebody who has felt very strong physical attraction and given a lot of attention, kind of like gotten a bit obsessed with somebody that they were very passionate about, but there wasn't any depth or like emotional connection. So I do feel like for many of you, this is talking about someone who was in a relationship and they strayed or they were unfaithful and started up a relationship after the other one fell apart with the person that they had an affair with. But the problem was a lot of what they enjoyed about that partner of theirs was the like forbidden nature of it. And once they end up in an actual relationship with that affair partner or that person that they had, lusted after when they were in a relationship with someone else, when things actually like get cleared out of the way, they find themselves much less interested in that connection. So we have someone who's feeling like they're over it. They don't really want anything else, but they've gotten themselves into a bit of a pickle because their lack of interest is not necessarily how the other person feels, right? So I let you think we were going to have some great relationship after I ended my marriage or after I ended that other relationship, but now I'm kind of sick of you too. So it feels like this person's actually wanting to be single, where the person that they've been with is expecting a long-term relationship. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing? So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Happy Saturday. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find it in the description box along with more information on how to become a member, as well as how to get yourself a homemade soy candle from my Etsy shop. Let's dive in and we'll start with... So there's two new tarot decks that I have. Well, okay, so I've added 3 this morning. You guys are gonna think I have such a problem. Sorry. So the first reading I did today, I added the Royal Fez Moroccan Tarot, which has some really beautiful artwork. They all do, really, most of them that I own do. But we also have the Dragon's Tarot, which you all have not seen yet. And then I also I just uploaded an unboxing of the Native American Tarot. So it's gonna be exciting. Hello, Mac, how are you doing? Oh, that's so great. How are you doing, Gracie? Yes. Yeah, he's been going through it, but I'm glad he reached out to you. Maybe it's the beginning of something great. All right. So again, this is the Dragon's Tarot. Let's see what else we have regarding this relationship that is not really getting off the ground. We have the Hanged Man in the reverse, the 8 of Pentacles, and the King of Chalices or King of Cups. So we have this King of Cups is somebody that likes to present themselves as very emotional or in tune with their emotions, but they talk a lot without backing up those words. So the reason they were drawn into a like side romance, or the reason why they were not faithful, is because they didn't want to do the actual work. They didn't want to actually build up or fix the issues in their original relationship. So they wanted those loving feelings from someone else on the side. And that's why we have somebody here who is not learning their lesson. With the Hanged Man in the reverse, it's stubborn energy, someone who's not figuring out why that other relationship went wrong. It's because you get distracted by shiny things instead of wanting to fix what's wrong in your existing relationship. Oh, that's awesome. And Is it Constantine? Constantino? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but hello. And hello, Corinne. How are you doing today? Thank you for the tip. Let me add that for you. And if this is your first time in my live chat, I make a list of the personal reading requests so that after the general reading, I can go through those, and that will be in about 30 minutes. From the dragons. Well, I wish I'd seen that first. I don't like to do personal readings with tarot decks that I've already used for the general. However, I have more dragons. We'll see. Well, I think we'll just go back to these afterwards. If that's what you're requesting, I'll do that for you. Thank you for clarifying, Constantine. It's going well. Thank you, Gracie. We have a new bookshelf right here that's been added so that I can continue to expand the collection of tarot decks. So that makes me happy because I don't like it when they're not organized. There needs to be a place for them all, you know? All right, what else do we have? I'll just do one row from the dragon so that I can use that for Corinne's reading. And I'm making a note that you've requested that. All right. So 9 of Swords in the reverse, 10 of Wands in the reverse. The, what are you? Page of Swords? Also in the reverse. Goodness. And the 2 of Swords in the reverse. That's a lot of air energy. So that would be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. All 4 of those cards that I just... No, wait, sorry. 10 of Wands was in there too. All 3 out of 4. Almost all. We have somebody who doesn't get in touch with their emotions, even though they like to talk about their emotions. So this would be the type of person that says they love you without actually feeling that love. I think they conflate or they confuse physical intimacy with emotional intimacy. I think they pretty much ignore the emotional side of themselves. They're very analytical, and then they think with their hips. We'll put it that way. Hello, Priya. Please do not include your date of birth. If you have a question, you can include it in a super chat like Corinne did above. But I do not need, like, honestly, I don't even need, like, first names. I just need, like, I've done questions with, like, the first letter or the initial for somebody, right? So I do best without much background. Hello, Sandy. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. And then also just let you know, Priya, that I do the general reading before I start on the personal questions. So it'd probably be like 25 minutes or so before I start those personal questions. This is Under the Oak. Star in the reverse. You know, when people are saying like, ooh, I can fix him. Ooh, I can fix her. This is that kind of like surface level energy, right? Like, I know that there's issues, or I know that you aren't very like emotionally mature, but we can figure it out. I'm sure we can. This is surface level. Nobody's digging in and actually understanding how they actually feel. So you could have been cheated on by this King of Cups. You could be friends or related to this person, but I feel like you're over here like, ugh, that's gonna end poorly. And then you have like a front row seat to seeing it not go very well. Thank you, Gab. Let me add that for you. What does Al think I'm stubborn about? And thank you, Gracie. Okay. quickly. And Gracie, I need your question in the super chat. I don't know what you're asking. Hello, Albert. How are you doing? So with the Star in the reverse, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, again, this is like, I want love. I want the feeling of romance. I want to feel like I have my ride or die, but I'm not going to work on myself. I'm not going to work on the connection. I just want something that makes me feel good about myself. But if you do not work on yourself, if you just want someone to like fix your life or want somebody to make you happy instead of figuring out how to be happy on your own, then you're going to end up like this King of Cups who just feels like anytime they're unhappy, oh, I guess it's time to switch my partner then because they're not doing their job. I don't feel happy. It must be them. Or the King of Cups could actually like do some reflection, right? And figure out why they are unhappy every time they get what they want. Guidance on manifestation. I can add that for you. Yeah, I would just ask, please include it in the super chat. It makes it a lot easier for me to see it going forward. Manifestation. Guidance. And hello, Mohammed. How are you doing? It doesn't matter where I'm from, Mohammed, but I hope you're having a good day. We have the Hierophant, the Magician in the reverse. So they keep blaming their partners, feeling like the reason they're not happy is because they choose the wrong partners and then they can't make them happy, without realizing if they were to actually think about what they need to do from a healing standpoint or like therapy, that they would be able to control the controllables or make themselves happy. So they keep expecting someone else to fix them and then ending up feeling trapped when they get into a relationship. So they were in a relationship, possibly with you, and then this King of Cups stepped out, started a secondary or like a side piece type connection, and then now they've moved into a committed relationship with that side piece, right? And they're like, what? Why isn't this better? Now I feel trapped in this relationship. They're confused. Hello, See the Gray. How are you doing? Hello, Dee. Welcome to the live chat. Feel free to put your request in a super chat and I will add it to the list. Oops. I'm dropping stuff. The Chariot, the Nine of Swords in the reverse, and the Three of Swords in the reverse. This is a lack of accountability, a lack of ownership over their own emotional issues. They expect happiness to come externally for them. They don't know how to make themselves happy. I do feel like this is like a generational thing. They saw their parents do this. Whoever this King of Cups is does not have to be a man, by the way. They run from relationships pretty much as soon as they secure them because it isn't the change they were expecting. Like, I thought being with you, all of my frustrations would melt away, or I thought I would stop being interested in other people, or I thought I would feel better about myself. But they haven't addressed any of the issues. That would be like if you accidentally got like some big cut on your thigh and you took the ointment and the bandage and you put it on your arm. It's not gonna help your leg heal. You're going for the wrong spot, my guy, right? Whoever this is, doesn't have to be a guy. This King of Cups is not dealing with the issues that present themselves in a relationship. They keep blaming other people and avoiding dealing with what makes them feel trapped in a relationship. But they also are codependent, so the idea of being on their own seems to be a little bit of a challenge for them. What? And sleep alone? No, I have to sleep with someone, even if I don't really like them. I don't know. Have you ever like had a king size bed to yourself and laid out like a giant X? Like that's kind of fun. We have the Knight of Swords, the Six of Pentacles. Always talking to more than one person and always blaming the person they're currently with for the problems that they have a hand in. Eight of Pentacles has come out in the reverse because they're not doing the work. High Priestess in the reverse, the Lovers, and the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like I fall in love every other Tuesday, but then when I pursue some kind of relationship with that person, it's like the love just like evaporates because they're falling in love with the idea of someone. They're not willing to actually invest in that connection. Hello, Navid Nori, how are you doing? Around the swamp, most likely. Hello, Chris, how are you? I didn't call it that for a reason. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, Sad, but I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend. I would definitely encourage you to keep in mind, judge not yet you be judged. There are people out there that have different beliefs than you, and you might be surprised at what you can learn from them and what they might be able to learn from you if you're more tolerant. Let's see what else we have. We're going to go with the Spellcaster's Tarot. That's funny. What else do we have? Rachel was going on a walk, but I would guess she's back by now. It's okay. She doesn't have to be here every time, although we do appreciate her very much. I don't want her to feel like she has to apologize. We have the World and the Nine of Cups. Never satisfied. Always looking for more. When they get what they want, this King of Cups ends up deciding, oh, well, I guess I want something different. So they'll never be able to be happy in a relationship until they actually do the healing and work on themselves and become less dependent on that external validation. Six of Wands and the Five of Wands. As soon as I get what I want, as soon as I claim that person that I was attracted to, or as soon as I, get into a relationship with someone, that's when the fighting starts. Because then they feel expectations from me, or they have, something, they expect me to work on something, or they expect me to treat them differently, but the King of Cups doesn't know how. King of Wands in the reverse and the Fool. So they just continually look for new partners, expecting somebody else to come along and finally make them feel like themselves, make them feel understood. But it's not the responsibility of someone else. It's their own responsibility. Oh, you got this. Don't worry, Gracie. Three of Cups in the reverse. And the King of Pentacles in the reverse. No one will be able to prioritize your mental health, your sense of self, the way that you can. So you have to hold yourself down, right? You have to be there for you. You have to prioritize your own happiness and feel deserving of love. You can't expect everybody or the people that you pursue to do everything for you. So this King of Cups is, I think, on the verge of learning this lesson. I keep changing the partner, but the partner doesn't matter. I still feel like I'm not satiated. I still feel like I'm not good enough, or I'm not loved, or As soon as it turns serious, then I want to run away. That's why I chose this tarot deck. The Hierophant is a card that talks about higher level commitment. So like marriage, for example. But notice the Hierophant has no face. This is like, I feel like the relationship will help me. I feel like being with somebody will make me feel like my best self. But the face is covered because it's like I just keep swapping out. There's new people. Nope, you're not it either. Nope, you didn't fix me either. Nope, I still feel the same way. And it's because we got to look at ourselves. Hello, Jamaica. How are you doing today? What else? 8 of Swords, 4 of Swords in the reverse. Refusing to look and realize there's healing that needs to happen. There's people I need to forgive. There's individuals who taught me how to love who were wrong, and I need to step back and figure out what I can take, if anything, from what they taught me, what example they provided. Was there anything that is true? And everything else I have to redefine. Everything else I need to relearn. I don't want to treat somebody that way. And I've learned if I treat them that way, then things escalate. They're having to learn a lot about love and take a different approach than what was taught to them. So I do feel like this King of Cups is finally figuring this out. It's work. It's not going to be easy. But I know I can change because I don't want to keep feeling like I finally found the one only to be disappointed because I wasn't ready for love. Knight of Cups. So go out there and find you a fish you could ride. Horse? Nope. We don't have any horses available. But we do have a largemouth bass. Would that work for you? Do you have the right saddle for that? This is someone who's getting more comfortable with their emotions. Instead of just feeling like physical intimacy equals emotional intimacy, they're starting to realize there's more depth to it. Oops. That was the wrong one anyways. There we go. All right. I'm going to go back to the Royal Fez, the Moroccan tarot. It smells good. Oh, you're sweet to say so, Gab. Thank you. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing today? Yes. It's funny, too, that you said heart-shaped hole and then heart-shaped box, considering who Kurt Cobain was dating. All right. What else do we have regarding this King of Cups? They're learning. I can't find the right long-term relationship, or I feel restless or stuck when things get serious because I don't know how to process those emotions. I wasn't taught how to process those emotions. So maybe I could be more successful at a long-term relationship if I take a step back and figure out why I get uncomfortable. I love this. We have this King of Cups finally learning. Sorry, I have to cover up the drawn naughty bits. But this is figuring out how to deal with the masculine and feminine energy. Realizing that maybe I was blaming everyone else when I was part of the problem. Maybe it wasn't all their problem. Maybe there's a little bit of both, right? But I have to do what I need to with regards to my own expectations and my own healing if I want to be able to have a healthy relationship or a codependent relationship with someone. Probs. Hello, Flower. How are you doing? Hello, Steven. What's up? A pool party? Well, I hope you have a delightful time. Oh, I love you too. So we have the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups in the reverse. I've been lying to myself, thinking that when I'm in a relationship and I feel stuck, that having that outside connection or, you know, being quick to cheat on someone, that makes me feel better. But now I know that's not going to be the path that gets me to where I want to be. That's not going to be the right move. I think we finally have some reflection. This King of Cups is realizing I can't just keep swapping out partners. I need to take a look at myself and figure out why I view love in the way that I do and what I can do to avoid getting sick of people the moment things turn serious with them. Hello, Aya. How are you doing? So we have the Tower in the reverse and the Moon. Here's the Tower and the Moon. Is it me? Am I the villain? Maybe villain is too strong, but this King of Cups is realizing I could do some things to improve how I approach love. I could do some things a little bit more intelligently, or I could address some of the emotional issues that I've accrued over my lifetime. There are people I could forgive. There are things I could understand from a different perspective, and there's behaviors that I could change. And if I do that, if I work on these things, then maybe I could actually be in a relationship that is happy, right? Hey, I'm sorry it's not for you, Ali, and I wish you luck. No hard feelings, but it seems like my channel's not for you, okay? Eight of Cups in the reverse and the Eight of Swords in the reverse. I'm not going to keep doing the same thing and expecting different outcomes. I can see that I have had some problems in terms of how I approach love, and I have been fearful about actually letting somebody understand who I am. So that vulnerability is starting to come out. They're starting to realize I can address these emotional issues or these problems from my past, and it will enable me to actually be able to love someone instead of just feel like it's love because there's naked time, right? It's beyond that physical intimacy, and they can see that now. They can see there were things they should have healed or addressed before they tried to start up a romance with somebody new. Sun in the reverse and the King of Wands. So now I'm going to address those problems that I had ignored for so many years. And it will mean that someday I can actually be in a relationship where I don't run away. Someday I can be in a relationship where there's true emotional intimacy. I'm not going to run away from that responsibility anymore. I'm going to take accountability and acknowledge that I can control some of those outcomes. I can control my own approach to love and make it more likely that things actually go like long term, or that I could actually be happy in that relationship, right? Hello, Chrissy. I hope you're having a good day. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I do personal questions after the general reading, which would be in about 5 minutes, and you can get added to the list if you want to add your question to a super chat. You can also donate a membership to someone else, and I will add you to the list for that. So we have longing, craving, aching, wanting, realizations, epiphanies, understandings, awakenings, and resistance, secret admirer, suppressing, and timid. So when things are a dream or when things are not real, as far as a relationship, then I can handle it better. But when they are right in front of me, I get uncomfortable. So they're accepting that accountability. I was part of the problem. I thought everything was about what you wanted or who you were attracted to or whether or not there was physical chemistry. But the reality is I want to be able to have a more meaningful relationship. And that requires understanding who I am, being self-aware, and working on my healing. I'm proud of you, King of Cups, whoever you are. This is someone who may be dealing with a twin flame experience. And there's a lot of romanticization of the twin flame journey on YouTube in particular. And I would just caution you to be careful with whatever content you consume regarding twin flames. There are people out there who will say what you want to say because they think they'll get the likes and the subscribers that they want. My personal opinion is that twin flames, it's a difficult path to walk and one that is meant not to be like, hey, here's your perfect partner, but it's a journey that shows up to highlight for you what you need to work on for yourself so that you can be, aware, but also love who you are and work on the things that you need to be able to do that. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to pop back for the personal questions. I've got them written down and I will link them in the comments, but I got to get that, okay? Sorry.